Have you ever noticed how easy it is for us to postpone our happiness? We often tell ourselves, I will be happy when children are settled, or when life feels less stressful, or when my finances are more secure, or when this difficult phase of my life is over. This sounds very logical, doesn't it? But have you also noticed that every time we reach that milestone or that chapter of our life closes, our mind has quickly created another condition for our happiness. And so without even realizing, we have postponed our happiness once again. Maybe this is the biggest mistake we are making about happiness. For years, I lived exactly like that. I thought I'll be happy when I get married. Then I got married. And then my mind quickly found the next destination. I thought I'll be happy when we finally buy our dream home. We bought the house, we got the second car. I also got that leadership position I worked so hard for. Each milestone brought excitement, and it always felt like, wow, this is it. But to tell you honestly, that excitement did not last. Sometimes it was just months, sometimes even weeks before my mind quickly found another thing to chase. Looking back, I noticed something that changed my perspective. None of those milestones were wrong. It was not wrong to get married, or it was not wrong to buy a dream home. It was not wrong to work hard for a meaningful career. The mistake was in expecting that reaching those milestones are going to give me that lasting happiness which they were never designed to provide. I was never really chasing the marriage or the house or the promotion. I was really chasing the feeling I believed those milestones are going to give me. The feeling of peace, joy, security, or even a sense of being enough. And maybe you have experienced something similar. Maybe you worked hard for something or waited for so long and you finally got that what you dreamed about. But yet there was a quiet voice inside you which asked you, why am I not feeling like this is enough? And if you've had that feeling, I want to tell you, you're not ungrateful. You're just human, because our minds are incredibly quick to adapt. What felt extraordinary in the past very soon becomes ordinary. And our mind has now once again moved the finish line. It's like chasing a mirage in a desert. From far, it looks like water is there. You keep walking, fully convinced that this time you're going to find it. But as you go closer, further away it recedes. That's when I started asking different questions. Instead of asking, what needs to change for me to become happy? I started asking, is there another way I can look at this? Because I realized something remarkably simple. Perspectives shape our experiences. For the same situation, if I choose gratitude instead of comparison, I choose acceptance instead of resistance, I choose compassion instead of resentment, my experience of that same situation changes. Because most of the times, I have very little control on changing the circumstance, but I can fully control the perspective that I bring into looking at that circumstance. And that's where I began to discover a different kind of happiness, one that does not depend on everything going my way, but one that grows from within. I still catch myself sometimes falling into old patterns, waiting for things to change before I can feel peaceful. But then I catch myself sooner and gently remind myself I can always choose a different perspective. When my perspective changed, my attention shifted as well. Instead of asking, what do I need from life? I began asking, what can I give? Because looking back, something surprised me. The moments that I felt truly fulfilled were not often the ones where I was receiving a lot. It was those moments where I was giving something, an encouragement to someone, or giving without expecting anything, or listening without trying to fix, or just bringing some kindness to someone's day. It was almost as if our hearts are designed to expand by giving not receiving much. I often think of life like this. Many of us think of life as if it were an ice cream, that we need to lick every bit of pleasure until it completely melts away. But maybe life is like a candle. A candle doesn't fulfill its purpose by protecting its wax. In fact, it fulfills its purpose by giving out light. And maybe that's true for us too. Maybe lasting fulfillment isn't in asking how much happiness can I get from life, but rather asking how much light can I bring into the life of others. And I found that this perspective is much easier to adopt when we create a loving connection with the divine. Whether that's a familiar idea for you or a completely new one, I simply invite you to reflect on it, because I have found out that the more attention shifts away from chasing happiness and is focused towards living our life with gratitude, love, and service, the more happiness seems to find me. So today, I'll leave you with one simple thought. We all have a choice. We can choose to keep postponing happiness and wait for life to become perfect, or we can choose to have a different perspective. We can choose to live with gratitude. We can choose to have more compassion. We can choose to have more acceptance. We can choose to bring light into someone else's life. And in doing so, we may just discover that happiness was never really waiting in the next destination. It was always waiting within us all along. So before you go, I would leave you with one question. What is the one area in your life where you can bring a different perspective instead of waiting for circumstances to change? Share your answers in the comments below, because your answers may just be the encouragement someone else needs to hear today. If this resonated with you, do subscribe to Thrive From Within, where every week we'll explore simple, practical mindset shifts, timeless wisdom, and daily habits which will give you more peace, purpose, and lasting fulfillment inside out. Until next time, remember, happiness begins with a choice. And perhaps the most important choice we make is the perspective we bring to every moment. And always remember to choose the perspective that helps you thrive from within.